The golf season in 1998 was one of transition. Tiger Woods, just 22 years old, didn't dominate the year he had in 1997, yet his presence was bigger than ever. In pop culture, Tiger Woods video games were introduced, bringing golf to a brand new generation. While Tiger recalibrated, other stars seized the moment. This is golf in the year 1998. The season opened at the Mercedes Championship in January. Phil Mickelson continued his rise, building momentum early in the year. Tiger Woods finished tied for second. A strong start, but not the dominant win many expected. That runner-up finish hinted at what would become a recurring theme. Tiger playing well, but not always closing. The Tucson Chrysler Classic marked the arrival of David Duval as the season's dominant force. On Friday, he fired a spectacular second round of 62, highlighted by 2 hole-outs from the fairway for eagle. By Saturday evening, Duval held a 7-shot lead, but Justin Leonard mounted a late charge, and with 4 holes to play, the two were suddenly tied. Under extreme pressure, Duval delivered a chip-in birdie on the 16th and a 30-foot birdie putt on the 18th. Leonard bogeyed both holes, and Duval closed the door, winning his first event of the year in dramatic fashion. At the Bay Hill Invitational in March, Ernie Els controlled the tournament and emerged as the champion. But the defining moment came from John Daly. On the par 5 6th hole in the final round, Daly made an 18, repeatedly finding the water and struggling to escape. It became one of the most infamous holes in PGA Tour history and overshadowed an otherwise dominant victory by Els. Later that month, the Players' Championship delivered one of the most memorable finishes of the season. Justin Leonard entered Sunday trailing, but produced a brilliant closing round. He hit a remarkable 1-iron on the long par 3 8th, setting up birdie. Leonard birdied holes 13 and 14, including a 25-footer, taking control of the tournament. Len Matisse stayed within 1 shot until the par 3 17th island green, where disaster struck and made a quintuple bogey. Leonard won the tournament while Matisse finished tied for 5th, showing grace in defeat after watching his title hopes sink at the 17th. In April, the 1998 Masters began with massive expectations. Tiger Woods arrived as the defending champion. Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer were also in the field, bridging generations. Fred Couples led after 1 round at 3 under, while Tiger was struggling in the conditions, still posted a solid score of 1 under. Sunday was a back-and-forth battle. Mark O'Meara birdied early to tie for the lead. Couples bogeyed 9. Duval made 3 straight birdies to get into contention. Disaster struck for Couples on the 13th tee, where he drove it into the woods and made double bogey. But on the par 5 15th, Couples responded with an eagle, tying for the lead once again. Duval finished and waited for the clubhouse tied for first. Then, Mark O'Meara closed with birdies on 17 and 18. The only time he held the lead all day to win the Masters tournament. Duval continued his winning season at the Shell Houston Open. Entering the final round behind, Duval fired a brilliant 64, overtaking Jeff Maggott and Fred Couples. He won by 1 stroke, completing a 4-round total of 276 and cementing his position as the hottest player on tour. Tiger Woods arrived at the Bell South Classic in Atlanta amid criticism and a 10-month winless drought. On Sunday, Woods took control with a course record 63, building a 3-shot lead. Sunday was a grind. Woods made 3 bogeys and 3 birdies, allowing J. Don Blake to close the gap. But Tiger held on, winning his only PGA Tour event in 1998. It wasn't flashy, and that made it more satisfying. In May, at the Memorial Tournament, Fred Couples emerged as an unlikely champion. Despite back issues and migraines, Couples played steady golf, consistently shooting in the 60s. Facing a field with rising stars like Woods, Duval, Els, Leonard, and Mickelson, Couples relied on experience and clutch birdies on the par 5s to secure victory at Jack Nicklaus's event. In June, the US Open tested every part of a player's game. Only 7 players broke par on day 1 at the famous Olympic Club. Payne Stewart set the pace early with a 66 and held on to the lead through Saturday. On Sunday, Stewart built a 5-shot lead, but the course began to fight back. Lee Janzen stayed patient and capitalized on Stewart's mistakes. A bizarre moment on the 4th hole, where Jansen's ball fell from a tree, seemed to spark his run. The two battled down the stretch. Jansen finished at even par, posting the clubhouse lead. Stewart needed a birdie on the 18th to force a playoff, but his 30-foot putt came up short. Lee Janzen captured his 2nd US Open, once again denying Payne Stewart. The Open Championship was played at Royal Birkdale in July, where wind dominated the week. Tiger Woods opened with a 5-under round to take an early lead. Americans dominated the leaderboard early, but conditions worsened. Defending champion Justin Leonard struggled, shooting an 82 on Saturday. By Sunday, Mark O'Meara and Brian Watts separated themselves from the field. The championship went to a playoff where O'Meara defeated Watts, claiming his second major title of 1998. In August, the PGA Championship at Sahalee Country Club in Redmond, Washington, a suburb east of Seattle, was won by Vijay Singh, marking the rise of another future superstar. Singh's victory further emphasized how deep and competitive the tour had become. In the fall, David Duval won 2 more events late in the season, finishing as the leading money winner of 1998. Despite Duval's consistency, Mark O'Meara earned Player of the Year, winning 2 majors. And at the Tour Championship, Hal Sutton emerged victorious. In November at the President's Cup, the season ended with history. At Royal Melbourne, the international team defeated the United States for the first time ever, winning 20.5 points to 11.5 points under captain Peter Thompson. Jack Nicklaus, captaining the U.S. team, for the first time watched as internationals delivered one of the most lopsided victories in event history. The 1988 PGA Tour season was about change. New champions rose, but veterans struck back. And even without dominating the win column, Tiger Woods reshaped the sport, not just on the course, but through culture and video games that brought golf to a new generation. 1998 wasn't just a season, it was the beginning of golf's modern era.